Hi everybody, my name is Spike Brave, and in this video I'd like to talk a little bit about the tactic of circling an enemy battle mech. If you've seen a lot of my tutorials, I will tell people when I'm doing gameplay examples not to circle opposing battle mechs. So let's talk a little bit about what that means and why it's probably not your best choice. When I say circling an enemy battle mech, I don't mean once or twice, I mean like your battle mech's in orbit around another battle mech. You don't want to circle them 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Just not a good idea. Let's talk about why. It leaves you open as a huge target. If your opponent has been playing for any length of time, he'll know how to counter you. If you are a brand new player and are not sure how to counter this particular tactic, I will tell you how you can do that. If you are in an assault class battle mech and you're being circled by a light battle mech, I would recommend just stopping. Don't move, and then use your A and D keys to move your battle mech side to side, and then use your torso twist to keep him in front of you as best as you can. You'll be able to keep him in front of you very well and be able to get a lot of damage on him. And a light versus a assault that can target it effectively is not much of a fight. So keep that in mind. If you're in a light or a medium battle mech that's a little bit faster and can kind of keep pace with your opponent that's circling, throw your mech in reverse and circle the opposite direction from him. So if he's turning to the right, hit reverse, go to the left. That'll keep him in front of you for longer periods of time as well. So those are two effective ways to counter that circle, and that is the problem with repeatedly circling your opponent, is it's easy to become a target. The third situation that you'll face when you're circling somebody is a second opponent. So let's say you're in a light and you're circling an assault. If he's got a buddy that sees you and you're running around that assault in the circle, that third mech has eyes on you and can target you very easily because you're very predictable moving in that circle. And even in the case of assaults with enough armor, I've been in Atlases or Dire Wolves and have been circled by a light, and I don't even bother trying to counter him. I just wait till he runs in front of me again because I know he's coming back, and then I shoot him when he gets right in front of me. Easy target. So keep that in mind. That's why I say don't circle, and that's exactly what I mean by it. Don't keep circling. Let's say you're in a faster battle mech and you have an opponent who's badly damaged on one side, and you have to run around him once or twice to like pop off his side torso and remove half his guns or kill him in the case of a Inner Sphere XL engine. That's great. What we want to avoid is repeatedly running around the enemy in a circle. As I said, I've gotten a lot of communication about this in my various tutorials, so I thought I'd do a video that's specifically just about that tactic and why it's bad. Now that I've talked a little bit about it, there's not a lot to say. A lot of people, I'm in a fast mech, so they think that if they circle somebody, they have some kind of advantage. Well, you've given away your speed advantage because you're not using it anymore. You're pretty much standing in one spot. You're just moving in a big circle, so you're a pretty easy target. So you've given away that mobility advantage. What you want to do is keep moving. And then let's talk about that just a tiny bit more. And let's say for our other option of defeating an enemy circling you, I was in a match where I was facing off against Arctic Cheetah in Firestarter. Now the Arctic Cheetah, if we're making bets here, I bet you people would say Arctic Cheetah's probably a better mech. Well, what he did is he started circling me. So what I did is I would circle him long enough to fire my lasers, and as soon as my weapons were discharged, I would immediately turn and circle the other way. So he's still running in that same circle, and that allowed me to come up behind him, engage him again, and the second my lasers were done firing, I'd turn away again. He never figured out what I was doing and couldn't catch up with me, so I eventually beat him that way. So keep that in mind. There's lots of ways to defeat this circling tactic, and it kind of leaves you, I don't want to say immobile because you are moving, but you're pretty much in the same spot. You're predictable. They'll know where you're going to be. So it makes you an easy target. So that's why I say don't circle. I was actually playing a match the other day thinking about this, and I saw like 2 billion examples of, hey, they're circling, and this is why it's bad. So I thought I'd do this video, break down the circling tactic, why it's bad, when it's good sometimes. Like I said, if you're just finishing somebody off or there's a good reason for it, and it's not going to be for a long time, just a few seconds as you circle them to finish them off, great, go ahead, go for it. But if, like I said, if you're starting to form an orbit around them, break off. You can do something better with your time rather than just be a target. So let's take a look at that match, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the examples I saw where people were circling that caused some problems. And then we're also going to talk just a little bit about target selection. Aiming at things that are aiming at things is important in this game. Sometimes you can't kill a mech, but you can make it really ineffective by looking at its damage diagram and figuring out what you can blow off. So one thing I want to talk about in that discussion is I was using this Shadow Cat. Something that's important to remember about BattleMechs is they have a pivot point. You can see this circle right here. So we'll take a look at it from a couple angles. See that circular structure there in the middle of my mech? Point at it somewhere. Looks like a ring. That's where my torso twists. So if we flip this BattleMech all the way around, we'll take a look at his hit boxes. This is my side torso. This is my other side torso. This is my center torso. My center torso includes that portion of my BattleMech that doesn't turn. So if I was torso twisted like this, but my legs were straight out, you couldn't necessarily see my back panel, but you could see this if you were behind me. So if I had my torso jerked all the way over to the side and you could see this arm, you couldn't hit me in the center torso. But if you aim at this, that goes against my center torso rear armor. Keep that in mind. Knowing where to hit your BattleMechs can be very important. That actually matters in this match I'll show you. There's a guy who could have killed me had he known that. If he would have known to stop behind me instead of circling and aimed right here, he would have finished me off. So that's just a little talk about that, so you know what I'm talking about when I get to that section about the hitboxes. So let's take a look at that match, and we'll talk about some times where some people were circling and it didn't work out very well for them. So here's the match. Alrighty, as you can see, we're in a match in Tourmaline Desert. I am in a Shadow Cat. I do not have him maxed out. I do like to show videos where I don't have everything tricked out. The only modules I have are an artillery strike and a UAV. And I have a couple large lasers and an SRM-4 for backup in case they get hot. And I'm going to play kind of a sniper position here. Those large lasers are great for that, but they're not so great in a brawl. So there's a little bit of moving in and setting up. I come around the corner of the ridge here and spend most of the match in this area. I like to get to a spot and kind of stay there. Try to stay closer to the team so that they can get some advantage from my ECM as well. So there's just a little bit of setting up before things get really interesting, but we'll see a lot of examples of circling. And keep in mind what I said about my back armor. That becomes very important as well. And we'll also get to see one of the problem areas of Tourmaline Desert as well. So I'm just carefully approaching this rise. I want to make sure that I see them before they see me, so I just spend some time poking up and taking shots as I can. Get a little bit braver here because we've got some friendlies with us, so I'm going to stand in the back there. Being a 45-ton mech, I'm not as threatening as these heavies that are moving in front of me. So I just stay close enough to support them with ECM, but far enough away that I don't get people's attention. I like that mech right there for a couple reasons. He's where I can hit him, and I also kept lock on him as long as I could because I saw LRMs going at him. As soon as he moves off, though, we start focusing on this Battlemaster. You'll see me start to use these little rises in the desert for good cover. I've got high-mounted weapons. He's got low-mounted weapons. I eventually step out of the cover for two reasons. Number one, I don't think he's paying attention to me with that clan assault in his face. And there's that other guy on my team that seems to want that spot real bad, so I'll go ahead and give that to him. So now I'm just trying to keep things suppressed. I took a shot at that other sniper to get him to move. I figured that Battlemaster was getting enough attention. So what I try to do here is come up for a nice little jump snipe, and I get stuck. It's quite funny. I do encounter this Evan Jaguar and kill him first with some help from the team. And then I know everybody's up there, so what I want to do is jump up there and drop my artillery strike, and I accidentally overheat, and then I hit some of these ridges. And I get stuck. Oh, no, not there. Here's where I get stuck. I jump up, and then what I want to do is try to target them from the side. And you can see I'm kind of looking around because I'm stuck and trying to figure out how to get unstuck. And after a moment, you see it kicks me out and then damages my legs. That becomes really important. Here we've got a Banshee coming straight at me who was almost dead, so I finished him off. And right there is an important factor in that match. That Thunderbolt got behind me, I didn't see him, and you can see how badly damaged my back is. So I decided to get away from him and get out here in the open where some of my teammates can help me out. Shot that SRM4, I thought it was mounted in my arm, which it wasn't. So I'm just trying to stay in cover as much as I can. I'm going to pursue this Ice Ferret just a little bit. He looks like he wants to run, so I'm not going to follow him. I'm got a big hole in my back and my leg's almost torn off, so I'm trying to find spots where I'm close to my team, but poking effectively. And I knew that Thunderbolt was around here somewhere, so I figured I'd come look for him. Got a target off in the distance. There's that Ice Weasel again. Or Ice Ferret. Ice Weasel. That's a browser, by the way. That's why I get it confused sometimes. So I start to engage this Thunderbolt using that ridge for as much cover as I can. And there's our buddy again. And it looks like he's going to leave. So I just start backing off. I figure I'll get next to the team here. One of the dangers of using those ER large lasers are quite hot, and right when you think you can just squeeze off that last shot, you overheat, and I do that a couple times here. But fortunately, in that case, the enemy was heading to cover. Had he not, I'd probably been in a lot of trouble. So I just come up here and I finish him off using that crater for cover. So now we've got him, I decide that I'm going to go try to help out the team. There's that Ice Ferret again. And we'll see an example here of where he tries to circle me and it doesn't go so well for him. He actually, I think, does what he wants to do, but it's a bad trade. So I come in here. He sees my legs messed up, and what he does is he tries to leg me, which he is successful at. You see, I stop and just keep him in front of me. I'm not really moving anymore. Just twisting my torso to keep him in front of me, which I'm doing a pretty good job of. So you can see he's trying to blow that leg off. That was already pretty severely damaged. And you'll see the damage trade there. He did manage to pop off that badly damaged leg, but I was able to core him out. So keep that in mind as you're circling there. You see how easy it was for me to keep him in front of me. So great example of when not to circle. Helping out the team there with a kill. Here's this Vulture, and he becomes really important later on in the match too. So I'm trying to get to that rise to use the side of it for cover from his LRMs. So I see this leg mech there, and I'm going to try to pop off his other leg. He's jumping around quite a bit. He's making it tough for me to aim at him, so I don't quite get there. Trying to use that for cover, so I come along, sneak along the side of it there. And of course, being legged, I'm not nearly as mobile or fast. There's that Vulture again. He's going to head to cover. So I know that Cheetah's leg, so I'm going to go see if I can't find him. No, there he is. So I'm going to try to pop his leg off there. Being real careful with my shots right now. I do not want to hit that friendly. That's why I'm taking so long to shoot. There we go. We'll get his other leg. And then at this point, I come down to look for the Vulture, and he's not there anymore. So I decided that I'm going to go cap. I changed my mind relatively quickly because the battlefield changes. But right now I don't see that Vulture, so I'm like, I'm legged, I can't chase him, I'm just going to go cap. So you can see there's 3 of us and just the enemy Vulture there. Now we'll see the friendly Ice Weasel, Ice Ferret. I'll get it right one of these days, I promise, guys. That's the Fenris where I come from. I'm used to the old school reporting names. So we'll see that Fenris go and engage him. I say I'm going to cap, and just about the second I say that, we get some targeting information, and he needs help. So I'm trying to get up there. Now watch him circle. That Vulture's able, or Mad Dog is able to keep him right in front of him. See how much damage they're dealing to each other, just staring at each other? They might as well not be moving. Now he tries to do it to me. So if he stops while he's circling me and shoots me in the back, remember I was talking about the hitboxes? I'm toast. With the weapons he's got, if he gets behind me and shoots me, I'm toast. But watch him. He just sits there and circles me. And that leads to 2 pretty big problems for him. Number 1, he's trying to protect his torso, so you see that he turns a lot of the time before his lasers finish discharging. So not only is he not getting all the damage, he's spraying it all over my mech. He's trying to leg me, but he's hitting me everywhere. And by just keeping him in front of me, I'm able to focus on that center torso and finish him off. So that's been a look at circling. Little talk about targeting information if you needed that. So yeah, had he stopped behind me with those lasers, he'd have cored me out right from behind. Well, we'll take a look at the match there. And I do like to joke around. If I get more than 6 kills in the match, I will tell the other team that I am Groot. So take a look at my stats if you like. As always, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have a question or comment, leave me notes in the video below. I'll try to answer your questions or respond to your comment as appropriate. And as always, have great luck on the battlefield. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.